So as certified sex addiction therapists, we have a 30 task model, it's called. And I can show you the real. I'm just showing you the colors, but each color represents a book, a workbook that we have. The first one called Facing the Shadow, and in Facing the Shadow, we do breaking through denial, understanding what sex addiction is, surrendering to the process. In other words, admitting that you have a problem, right? Because some guys are going to say, well, everybody looks at porn, so what's the big deal? What are you making such a big deal about? So this is just what men do, or women, do. So that's limiting the damage from the behavior. So in other words, like we were talking about before, talking about consequences, right? You have to write, in these workbooks, you have to write down what are the consequences of your actions. Well, I was looking at porn at work, and my manager came over to my desk, and I almost got caught. Almost lost my job. Okay, and then how do we establish sobriety? What is sobriety for you? So in other words, there's different. Some people are. They'll go out in the street and see somebody, and then they start fantasizing. So that's one thing, right? Or they'll flirt with other women or men, versus porn. So there's a lot of different aspects there. And depending on those, that's how we have to treat it. Talking to them about some of the physical integrity of acting out sexually, some of the things that can happen, right? And then so we recommend that you go to a 12-step program because you need support, right? The cure for addiction is connection, and so it's really important to have people, friends, sponsors, people like that can support you when you're having cravings and urges and things like that. Yeah, so that's the first book, and then I'm not going to go through all these, but basically what you're doing is you're going through cycles of abuse. The second book talks about shame, like we've been talking about, restructuring yourself. In other words, there's a portion of you that had needing to move from addiction to integrity. What are your values? What's your integrity? What's your purpose in life? In other words, now that I'm sober, what am I going to do now? What am I going to work on now? So we have to work on being the best kind of person that we're meant to be.